Hello friends, this is Abby Jo and I welcome you to a cozy fall vlog. Fall is in the air and our cottage garden is full of amazing produce and flowers. So our evening consists of my daughter Natasha and I harvesting whatever is in urgent need of picking so we can either can, freeze, or dehydrate it. The flowers are still showing off their magnificent colors and we can't get enough bouquets stuffed throughout the house. All too soon the first frost will come, so I will fill my house up with bouquets and savor them all the more. Being out in the garden in the early morning mist and the glowing coolness of evenings is a special thing indeed. I feel like I'm in my own secret garden. I am always amazed at the beauty of creation, and I find I always linger longer than I plan to in the garden. The pumpkins are almost ready to harvest, and I love seeing the spots of orange among the jungle of greenery. Fall is golden leaves falling, pumpkin spice, hot drinks, and baking. But for those of us that are gardeners, we know that it is a busy, beautiful time of harvesting and preserving the bounty. It's also such a nice time to spend with my daughter, who is an amazing gardener, and I enjoy sharing the love of gardening with her. During the cold months, we often watch garden shows like Monty Don's Gardener's World and make lists of what seeds that we need to buy for the coming new year of planting. We are always looking for new colors and shapes of flowers that we want to tuck into the cottage garden in between the growing vegetables. Thank you for lingering in the garden with me. Part of the joy of growing a garden is sharing your garden and the beauty that abounds so abundantly. Now for a cozy afternoon working in the kitchen with my daughter. We're going to dehydrate these lovely plums. I love to dehydrate fruit, vegetables, and herbs. They come in so handy for snacks and cooking. Filling all the trays on my dehydrator give me about 1 gallon of dried fruit or vegetables when it's all said and done. I like to rinse them real good and then we cut them in half, taking out the pit. I like to push out the center part of the plum because I think it helps the plum to dry more evenly in the dehydrator. I got these 2 huge red cabbages from my neighbor. They each weigh over 10 pounds. I've decided to shred the majority of the cabbage to make sauerkraut, and part of it I'm going to blanch and chunk it up for stir fries. My daughter is skimming cream off the milk, which we will use to make butter or for our coffee and tea drinks. We have been blanching and freezing, fermenting, dehydrating, and canning our produce this year. Our kitchen is always humming with some kind of project. I'm always so satisfied when I see my pantry and freezer shelves filling up. When blanching cabbage, I blanch in boiling water for 2 minutes in small batches. I am preparing my sauerkraut by adding 1 tablespoon of salt for every 1 3/4 of a pound or 800 grams of shredded cabbage. Then I massage in the salt for several minutes and I cover with a tea towel and let it rest for about 30 minutes or so. I am finishing up my blanching of the cabbage. I rinse in cold water after taking out of the stock pot, and then I like to layer on sheet pans and flash freeze in the freezer for a few hours. When frozen, I bag it up into Ziplocs and label for long-term storage in the freezer. When I'm doing a lot of food preservation, I like to get a simple, no-fuss dinner going. Tonight's menu is fried rice, sautéed yellow squash and zucchini from the garden, and cooked hamburger. I like to shred lots of zucchini for the freezer so I can make chocolate zucchini bread and zucchini fritters during the cold months ahead, a cozy reminder of summer's abundance during the winter months. An easy, simple meal from the garden at the end of a successful day processing the harvest. My daughters and I planned a fun thrifting day in town. I found this darling vintage book with drawings of animals. I knew my little kids would love it. I really enjoy books, and I'm always on the lookout for something good to add to my library. The Dangerous Book for Boys was a great find too. This is what my cart looks like at the Salvation Army. I found a really nice wool coat for my husband and some nice warm sweaters and shirts. The next store that we went to was the Goodwill, and someone had cleaned out their kitchen because I found some great kitchen tools and some other treasures too. Hello friends. I've been wanting to talk to you guys about the harvest season and how busy it is for me in August and September, and a little bit of what I've been doing in the kitchen in the last few days. So we got about a gallon of dehydrated plums. I usually get about a gallon if I fill up my dehydrator full every single time. The kids already ate some, but this is beautiful for me just to see that, like, when I fill all those trays up, I get about a gallon of dehydrated fruit. I want to show you the sauerkraut. I will set all this sauerkraut on my counter for the next about 14 to 16 days and let it ferment. I always unscrew the lids every day, just barely, just like that. And then I put them back on, and it's just kind of burping the jar to get any air out. And some bubbles usually come up after a while. And once this is done fermenting on my counter, it goes into my fridge, and we have delicious sauerkraut for the winter months ahead. I like to get a little bit done each day, so I'm always just kind of working on stuff. So we had the sauerkraut done, dried plums, and I usually try to get some zucchini shredded up and put in the freezer. I love these containers because they hold about 2 cups of zucchini, and that's exactly how much I need to make a double batch of my chocolate zucchini bread, which my family really loves. My daughter's been dehydrating a ton of her herbs and spices from her garden, and we've been getting them all in these containers, which is really nice. And also we got a whole bunch of beans pickled the last few days. I have cayenne and garlic and dill and mustard seed in this. This is one of my kids' favorite pickled beans. I love sharing with you guys just all the harvesting and all the things, because that's what I feel is one of my biggest joys about fall, is just getting the harvest in from our garden, from farmers, from local produce stands. I love to get it put away for the winter. And it's kind of interesting because this year I feel like I've really kind of diversified a little bit more than I usually do. I feel like we've blanched a lot more than we usually do, frozen a lot of things like shredding and putting in these containers. I've dehydrated a lot more. I've done a lot more fruit, and my daughter's been doing all of her herbs and teas, and I've been fermenting and I've been canning. So it's been kind of a combination of everything, which I think is a really nice variety to put away for the winter. I guess one thing I just want to really encourage you guys is that doing a little bit every day really does add up. And I really will probably keep canning clear until the holidays, a little bit every day. Usually the garden's cleaned up by then, but I have a lot of root vegetables that I like to put away, and just things like beans or meat or different things like stews. I like to try to just like slowly get my pantry filled up. What's kind of funny this year, just so you guys know, I'm not always on top of everything. I completely missed the peach season. And probably for the last 15 years, I have consistently canned like 100 quarts of peaches every year because we love peaches so much. And I think maybe it's just being in a new area, but I like totally missed the canning season cutoff for peaches. I went in and they told me they were sold out and there were going to be no more peaches brought in. And I was really sad because I love peaches. So that made me really sad. We did have some peaches earlier in the season just to eat, and I realized I do have several gallons in my freezer, so I'll probably make peach pie filling or some peach jam with that. I'm gonna get all of this put away into my pantry, the fridge, my counter, clean it all up, and I'm gonna show you guys my most recent thrift store haul. I wanted to show you guys these 4 trays of blanched green beans that we just recently blanched. When we blanch our green beans, we like to blanch them and then lay them out on sheets and stick them in our freezer. And then I feel like it helps to have the beans loose when you're dumping out bags instead of having it all in a frozen clump. We've been getting baskets and baskets of green beans from our garden, and it's just been so fun being able to put like gallons of these away in our freezer for the winter months ahead. My daughter Natasha is the mastermind of the garden this year. She's been doing such a great job growing all this stuff. And her and I have been taking turns between blanching and snapping beans and getting all of this beautiful produce put away for the winter in the freezer. I know a lot of you guys love thrift shopping, and so I thought I would share some of the great finds that I found. I really didn't thrift shop very often this summer, so this weekend my daughters and I went thrift shopping and we had such a blast. So I wanted to show you some of the great stuff that we found. So we went to the Salvation Army, we went to the Goodwill, and I'm going to show you what I got at the Goodwill first because I've had this 50% coupon in my wallet for quite a while, just waiting until I found enough stuff that it would be worth using that 50% coupon. And today was the day, or should I say Saturday was the day. But it worked out so wonderful because it was like someone went into their kitchen and just cleaned it out. And of course, I love kitchen stuff because I really use this stuff for harvesting and making things. And I have a really big oven now. So I found this beautiful muffin tin. Actually, there's 2 of them in here. There was 3. I left one for someone else because I figured I don't need 3. But I have 2 in here. They were $4.99 each, and they hold 24 muffins, and they were $2.50 a piece because of the 50% coupon. So I thought that was a steal, and I cannot wait to bake some muffins in these. So I've been trying to replace all of my aluminum type pans with enamel or stainless steel. I really don't have that much But I have a few pieces that my grandma gave me, and I didn't even know a few of the things were aluminum until I looked at them recently, and I was like, oh, I've got to switch that out. And one of those things is my juicer. I really needed a new juicer, a juicer steamer, and I cannot believe I found this enamel juicer steamer. And it was, let me see the price here so I can quote you the price. Oh, it was $19.99, and I got this for 50% off. So I only ended up paying $10 for this juicer steamer. So that was a really good deal. And I also grabbed this enamel pan. It's in really good shape, or pot. As you can see, it is like brand new, just to have an extra one for making soup and applesauce, and also because I have my wood cook stove and I have projects going on my gas stove during the winter. So sometimes I need a couple more pots, and that's why I grabbed that one. And this one was $12.99, and I got this for 50% off. And I also got an apple peeler, and this apple peeler was $8.99, and I got it half off, so $4.50. So I was really thrilled. It's brand new. I don't even think anyone has ever even used it. As you can see, it's in perfect shape. I have an apple peeler, but we do a lot of apples in this house, so I figured having two, we could get twice the work done in a shorter amount of time. So I snagged this for $4.50 because, as you know, this is a steal at $4.50. So that was a lot of like the food, kitchen, processing stuff. And as the holidays come, I'm always looking for things to set a beautiful table. And I try to be careful with dishes because dishes can get out of hand for me because I really love dishes. But I really fell in love with this size because I'm always looking for something for like vegetables or applesauce. And this is like the perfect size right here. This was $5.99, and it's just so pretty and vintage. And this was half off, so like $3. So I was so happy with this. And I also snatched these crystal glasses from France for $19.99, and the 50% coupon made it $10. So $10 for 6 crystal goblets. I feel like that's a pretty good deal. I grabbed these because I have several of these ones, and even though they're not identical, they're pretty close, and I felt like they would just mix really well on the table when I set a pretty table during the holidays. I just get tickled when I find such good deals for 50% off. So this was worth saving that coupon just to find a good haul like this, because then I felt like I was, justified to use the coupon because everything was such a good deal. I'm going to show you something that I got for my bedroom. Actually, it's my little desk office area that I've been making in my bedroom. I got this beautiful lamp. I'm absolutely in love with it. This lamp is a vintage mid-century lamp, and the price tag on it was kind of spendy. It was $39.99, and I would not have gotten this lamp for $40. It just was too expensive, and really was hard for me to spend $20 on it, but it's so beautiful, and I love the height, and I knew it would look so good on my desk. I splurged. And since I haven't been thrifting a lot, I felt pretty good about it. So I got this beautiful lamp for $20 with the 50% off coupon. And then I wanted to put a picture on my desk, and I love this frame. It's really heavy duty and beautiful. It was 99 cents at Goodwill with 50% off. So it ended up being 50 cents. So I was very, very happy with these deals. And you might have saw in the Salvation Army haul, I have those books actually in another room, so I'm not going to show them right now, but I did get the Dangerous book for boys, and I also got a really cool animal vintage book on animals with the pictures. I thought the kids would really enjoy that. And then we just got a few miscellaneous clothing items for the family. So I enjoy this. I haven't been doing it a lot, but if you guys enjoyed me showing these finds and thrifting, definitely tell me in the comments below if you guys like seeing my thrift hauls. I'd like to know if that's something you want me to keep showing, and I would love to know what great finds you guys found this summer and fall. And I think I'm gonna go style my bedroom desk with this beautiful new lamp and this picture, and get some beautiful flowers from the garden on my desk and just kind of spruce up the area. And I will show you how it looks after it's all styled. Natasha grew such an amazing variety of flowers this year in the cottage garden. The bouquets have been so pretty. I feel rather spoiled to have flowers in every room all throughout the growing season. I will miss the flowers when they are gone. This is my favorite bouquet yet, whimsical and cheery, showing off an explosion of colors from the garden. With this sweet little bouquet and the lamp and the picture frame, let's go style my desk area in my room. I've been wanting to make a cozy nook where I can write and do some office work. I really love the height of the lamp and the warm glow that it gives. Books, candles, and tea also make my desk area all the more cozy, and I love that I can pull the curtain back and watch the leaves fall and my children playing in the yard. The perfect cozy nook to schedule my week and to have a cup of tea. I thought I would whip up a batch of pumpkin cream cheese muffins and share with you 4 tips that I recently learned from this great Instagram account, Beth the First Year. I will link her Instagram in the notes below. Beth is a muffin expert, sharing how to bake your muffins like a bakery with those nice rounded dome tops. I will share my recipe for the pumpkin chocolate chip cream cheese muffins below. They're a favorite at our home during the fall months. Baking is a very relaxing process for me, and I find a flow in the kitchen that is so very special to me. I also just love making good food for my family and fun autumn treats. The first tip that I learned from Beth's Instagram account is to let your dough rest for 15 minutes after mixing it up. It will hydrate more and make a thicker batter. Second tip is to fill your muffin tin full. She recommends half a cup of batter. I decided to fill the batter to about 3/4 full in the cup and then add a tablespoon of the chocolate chip cream cheese filling. The third tip is to fill every other muffin hole so they can dome and not run into each other. Fourth tip is to bake at 425 for the first 7 minutes, and then you lower the heat down to 350 for the rest of the baking time. So I'm going to try these tips for the first time and see how the muffins turn out. I think they are very beautiful with nice dome tops. The cream cheese on top is a little heavy and doesn't let the muffins rise as well as if you were just baking a plain pumpkin muffin, but I'm very happy with these and how they turned out. Now for the taste test. I have to say they are very good. I forgot to show you this darling muffin cupcake holder. I found it at the Goodwill. It's so cute. It was $4 after the 50% coupon. And I think it looks so pretty with the pumpkin muffins all displayed on the counter. It's kind of like a muffin tree. I wish you all lovely fall days ahead.